Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to call to order and open our planning board meeting here Wednesday, August 21st, 7 p.m. at Fuller Meadows School. I'll ask everyone to please silence your phones, and we'll open things up for, actually first I would like to nominate Dave as a voting member tonight as our alternate, since Lisa is not here. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate. Yeah.
You got it.
Appreciate you coming. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from July 10th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Would anyone like to make a motion regarding those minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written for July 10th, 2024.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Yep, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Let's see. We have a subdivision approval not required plan. The A&R is for 11 Webb and 66 Maple Street, which is the Middleton Congressional Church.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Pete Blaisdell, the Williams Garages.
Awesome.
Thanks. I'm glad I checked earlier. I thought this was Zoom, so. Made it.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. So Pete Blaisdell here to represent the Middleton Congregational Church. I think we filed this in June. Obviously, we've had a couple of meetings. There wasn't a quorum, and then we had a little mix-up last time. So they were kind enough to add us to tonight, so thank you. Just a little background. The property is at the corner of Maple Ave and Webb Street. There's a parsonage, and then there's a main building. The elders contacted us. They wanted to, it's shown as two parcels, but the way that the lot was divided, some of the pavement for the driveway at the back of the church was on where the parsonage area is, so they asked us if we could do a new boundary plan and separate all that from parsonage parcel, which they may intend to sell. I'm not 100% sure, but they wanted to make sure that there wasn't any encroachments. So the plan before you tonight shows a lot 1 with 20,498 square feet, and lot 2, which would be the church proper and the dwelling in front, all the parking areas around that. We meet essentially all of the setbacks. The only thing that we kind of pointed out, and we sent that along for any comment, we didn't receive any comment back, was the existing parsonage building, which is number 11. The front left corner on the left is 14.3 feet setback from the sideline, which the requirement is 15. However, it's been there for quite some time. That's the only thing that doesn't meet the current setback requirements. To my knowledge, it does not require any relief. Other than that, we meet all the area requirements, frontage requirements, and I think that's it.
Awesome. Looks pretty straightforward to me. I don't have any questions. I don't see that we have any comments from DPW, building department. Justin, anything that you're aware of regarding the A&R? Very good. Anyone else have questions or comments on it?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to accept the A&R.
Would anyone like to second the motion that this meets the criteria for approval not required plans?
I second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
You already have the Mylar, so if you want to sign it, I'll take it off your hands.
Very good.
Don't waste any time, do you?
Well, you guys probably have other things to do. I can listen to myself talk all night.
You can, trust me.
Yeah, well, she taught me.
Churches?
Yeah, it's on the back, it's on the back side of the property down here. They did this here, they did this lot, and then this area here. This is part of this one area back here.
Anthony, I did that draft decision for the next one. So
Okay.
I think that you have it from the last time. I updated it. Hi, how are you?
Oh, okay, it's different than this one that I...
Oh, just a smidge, because the plan, we updated updated the stormwater.
Okay.
So I didn't want you to have a plan different than ZBA from that. Oh my God, Jason, talk about changes in haircut.
Yes, please.
So
I'm emulating.
he's trying to take after me. Joe.
Great, all right, good to see you. Yeah, likewise.
Thank you very much, everyone.
So it is the same exact decision, just with.
Thank you.
Like, the change in a plan from June to July to show that.
Let's see if I can find the public hearing.
Surprises.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the public hearing continuation. Let's see, I think I can find that public hearing notice. Does anyone happen to have that in front of them, the public hearing notice that we read? Okay, let's see if I can pull that up. All right, I think I found it. All right, so we're opening the public hearing notice for 141-143 Essex Street here in Middleton, Mass. Assessors map 10, parcels 37, 37A, and 37B. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 40A, Section 11, Mass General Law, Planning Board will hold a public hearing today at 7 p.m. at the Fuller Meadow School Media Center, 143 Main Street, for the aforementioned application for said hearing was duly advertised in a newspaper having general circulation in the town of Middleton, posted in a conspicuous place in the town office building, Memorial Hall, mailed, postage prepaid to all interested parties as certified by the Board of Assessors in conformance with Section 9 and 11. Here today we have myself, Chairperson Anthony DiGregorio, and all members of the board. Do we have anyone from the public that wishes to speak first on this matter?
Good evening, Jill Nan here on behalf of the applicant AF Realty Partners. I just first thank you very much for holding the special meeting. I know it's difficult in the summer, and I know schedules are brutal in the summer, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. So this particular application is a modification of a permit that you had granted last year. Basically what happened is Phil Colosi, who was the original applicant, had developed the property, had certain, vision of what the architectural plan should be like. And he has since put the property under contract to be sold to a developer who plans on building each of the buildings. Phil really is more of a site developer than a building contractor, and this man, Frank Petrillo, is actually a builder. So he sold it to this man, and he wanted to reorient, and I apologize for not being able to get on screen, but if you look at your site plan, he wanted to be able to reorient the way the common driveway went back and to kind of modify the exterior facade of the buildings. So it actually was a very good idea. This property has, 3 duplexes. So the front duplex is accessed off of Essex Street, and the back 2 duplexes are accessed off this common driveway that the Board of Appeals gave special permit for. And the way it worked was the driveways came up, you had front entrances. The next one came up, you had front entrances. So Mr. Petrillo had an idea of why not make it kind of like a tiny little cul-de-sac where you had one driveway entrance and everybody faced the driveways instead of having somebody's backyard in it. So that's the orientation. And when they did that, they just kind of reoriented the buildings, and you can see the architectural plans there. Your permit and your charge is limited to the architectural and then to grant the 2-family. You've granted the 2-family, but you also have the obligation to review the duplex and the architectural plans to ensure, that they're pretty much in keeping with what had previously been permitted and what the town typically sees for 2-family. For example, they're supposed to be connected. They're supposed to have, an approach that is a little bit diverse. Not all the buildings supposed to be the exact same building, and that's what you will find here. A couple of the structures have, front entrance driveways. One of them has a front and a side entrance, then the other one has 2 side entrances. So there's a lot of attempt to try and make it, a little more aesthetically pleasing. In addition, these particular duplexes have first floor bedrooms. And as I age, you like the idea of one floor at least living, and, you can have guests or older children upstairs. So that was kind of the appeal of these as well. So as a result of all that, and through conversations with the building inspector, he thought this was a major modification that required the full public hearing, so here we are. And I'm here to ask you to approve this because, quite frankly, it actually is an improvement and not a detraction from what was initially approved by the board and to the area itself. If you have any questions, I can go over them with you. We can walk through the architectural plans, but that basically is the modification in a nutshell.
There were no changes, it didn't look like, to the deck on the right side, or?
We didn't really change much encroachment area, we had to go back. Remember when we had, this is just part of the common driveway. We had to go back to Chief Lacoste because we did reorient the driveway and wanted to make sure we had a big turnaround area, and we actually improved that too by making it an all paved area instead of this odd gravel that was an extension. So yeah, for the most part, the outside. Do you remember how I told you we had the back is protected, so this is natural heritage area. So we had to go to the Division of Wildlife and Fisheries and get a permit. So the no disturb lines stay the same. I've shown this plan to Kristen Kent as well because it's important that she see it because she's the one who really is the guardian of that permit to make sure that it's complied with. And then also there is an order of conditions that creates that limit of work, which we have not infringed on.
Mm-hmm.
Encroached.
Yeah, I think it looks very nice. I took a look at the updated architecturals in.
I thought they were nicer in many, many ways. I thought the floor plan itself, like the layout when you walked in, was easier to handle, and I loved the change in the garages.
Very good. Looking through the folder, I do not see any comment from town officials. Do we have anyone else here from the public that wishes to be heard?
I'm at 131 Essex Street. That's where I came, and I received a letter, so I wanted to find out.
For the second time, right?
Yes,
I know.
what's going on here.
Do you have questions?
No, all I worry about is the runoff and the wetlands. That's all my concern is. Such a beautiful area. I would hate to see it, end up with moss and the fertilizer and the runoff of the cars. But sounds like you guys have covered it, so.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be in our purview anyway. That would be something that.
Tomorrow. So this board just looks at kind of the way the duplexes are structured. Tomorrow night talks about the common driveway, which is the runoff, and that's why I was talking about the stormwater plan. But that already was approved even by Kristen Kent, who's the Concom agent, because she's monitoring this very closely. But this is also subject to the review by, as I said, the Division of Wildlife and Fisheries to make sure we preserve the area. So out of this big parcel of land, I think the total area that we could develop was under 2 acres. There's like 7 acres that are protected.
All right.
But Jill, just to be clear, so
Yes.
like it was already approved in the past. We heard tonight because of the modification for the driveway and extra square footage, right? That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Yes, this had been approved back in 2023.
But like I said.
No, I just want you-
Usually I just get a letter in the mail, and I figure, well, but this time I had to sign for it, so I thought maybe it was something
Oh.
major I should be concerned about. So
No.
just thought I'd come by and just hear what.
I appreciate that.
Very good, thank you. So we've reviewed the evidence, the application dated June 10th, 2024, including all exhibits thereto. Site plan entitled Site Plan 141 Essex Street, Middleton, Mass., dated June 7th, 2024, revised through the July 22nd, 2024 plan. We also reviewed through that application the floor plans and renderings entitled The Proposed Duplex Residences, 141 Essex Street, Middleton, Mass., dated April 24th, 2024. Previously, we had reviewed the comments from the fire department and conservation agent prior to continuing this public hearing. So, at the conclusion here of this public hearing, unless anyone else wishes to be heard, I will call for the following motions to be made. Would anyone like to make a motion that the modifications to the original orientation of the duplexes and updated design as shown on the site plan and floor plans and renderings represent improvements to the original orientation and designed as referenced in the 2023 special permit?
I'll make a motion that the modifications to orient of the duplexes and the updated design as shown in the site plan and floor plans and rendering is orientation design reference to 2023 special permit.
Thank you, Jason. Do we have a second?
Yep, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. We would also want to make a motion to confirm the board's conclusion set forth in the 2023 special permit that any adverse effects resulting from the construction and use of these duplexes will not outweigh the beneficial impacts to the town or neighborhood, and to ratify the findings of the board set forth in the 2023 special permit. Anyone who wishes to make that motion may say so moved.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to confirm the board's conclusions set forth in 2023 special permit, that any adverse effects resulting from the construction use of the duplexes as modified will not outweigh the beneficial impacts of the town or neighborhood, and to ratify the findings of the board set forth in the 2023 special permit.
Thank you, Chad. We have a second?
Yep, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Finally, I want to see if anyone would like to make a motion to approve the modifications to the 2023 special permit pursuant to section 9.4 of the bylaw.
I'll make a motion to approve the modification of the 2023 special permit pursuant to section 9.4 of the bylaw.
Thank you, Jason. Do we have a second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I will I had to make some changes to it, and then I'll send it over to your assistant, Scott Smallnier, and he'll send it on. I'll copy you on that as well.
Right. Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, have a good night.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your summer.
You as well.
Plenty of summer left. Keep telling my wife, even though she's already put fall flowers out, I'm like, no. We've got 3 more months of golf season here. I'm done.
Yeah,
September 21.
exactly. Crazy. I'll see ya.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Bye, Justin.
Next on our agenda, we've got a ZBA recommendation for reconstruction of a non-conforming sign at 170 North Main Street.
Hello, my name is Dylan Kelly. I manage the property at 170 North Main Street, and I've been working on getting this sign approved. I'm not sure, you guys have a site plan with you, or do you want one?
Trying to see.
I can give it to you if you like.
It's a layout here.
I have two small ones and I have the big one, but... Oh, it's a receipt. Two small ones you can look at.
I've got mine, so no one else needs it.
And then,
I'll take a copy.
it's in the application for the ZBA, but in case you guys don't have that, this black and white one is the existing sign draft that was made however long ago. And then this one is the one I'm trying to get approved.
Okay. All right. Tell me about the lighting of the sign. How
So
is it illuminated?
the lighting of the sign, oh, and I also just want to say I got the endorsement, or whatever you want to call it, from the industrial commercial design review as well, if you don't have that. But answer your question. So currently the sign is lit from spotlights facing towards the sign, the old wooden kind of style sign. This one that we'd like to put up is the standard, backlit sign from the middle. It's same company and same design as the Starbucks sign. But obviously fewer tenants, so there's less panels. But it's the same general concept. If you go to Starbucks, it would look similar to that. However, to answer your question, it's lit in the middle of those panels. There's 5 existing businesses that been in, that business there forever, and they would get those sign panels.
And this is going in between the 2 driveway entrances?
Yes. And the reason why I would like to move it to that location is, well, essentially, the bylaw is that the sign needs to, the sign belief needs to be 10 feet away from the property line. The existing sign, we're not moving it any further, away from the street than the current existing sign. The only thing I want to do is just move it down to the middle of the property. And the reason being is that when you're coming into town from North Andover, by the time you see the sign, you're almost already past the property. Also, I go to that parking lot a lot, but when you're trying to pull out of that parking lot, it is awfully kind of a visual, blinder. So I think it increases the safety of the parking lot as well. Also, I think it just visually looks better in the middle of, the property.
Yeah, I think centered is a good idea. I also appreciate the fact that you're taking into consideration traffic coming in and out of the parking lot there, that it makes it a little bit easier for people to turn in and out those blind spots. Anyone else have any questions on where that sign is going? It looks like it's dead square in the middle.
Yes, it's dead square in the middle of that green strip.
Yeah.
And when I was speaking to the Industrial Design Review Committee too, once the sign is in place, we're going to, put, nice flowers and stuff around the sign to make it visually appealing, as they recommended. But the goal is, to put the owners are trying to put some money into that building to make it look, nicer. It's an older building. That sign is obviously dated. You don't use signs that way anymore. Those old kind of wooden, floodlight signs. So I think this will just give it a nice kind of modern feel, but also kind of blend in with the neighborhood, because there are a lot of the buildings around the area too have newer signs.
What's the height difference between the two?
Same exact height.
Okay.
and same, same dimensions and everything.
Yeah, like right there. There we go.
And there's no interruption with the trees that are currently there?
There is no interruption with the trees that are currently there, no.
There won't be any need to trim those back at all or to remove any?
Are you looking at Google Maps?
Yeah.
Those trees were, I believe, were trimmed, cut down.
Okay. But they're not going to be removed?
No, it's just a stump now.
Oh, they were taken down?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else have any additional questions, comments? Good?
And I just do want to say too, if you're looking at the site plan, it may be a little confusing. The reason why it's still 1 to 2 feet away from the property line is because that property line is almost a little bit into the center of that green strip, the state easement or straight, where the property the state has control over, goes far into that grass strip.
Mm-hmm. All right, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the new placement of and reconstruct the new non-conforming sign
So that would be a positive recommendation?
Positive recommendation.
To the ZBA?
to the ZBA.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very
Thank you,
good.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yep,
Thanks,
definitely.
you too. All right. South Essex Registry of Deeds signatures. The signs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, we need to do new signatures. They never got recorded. I think we did them, right? Did we do them? It never got recorded?
I don't know, but
Nope.
This thing from Kristen?
the trees,
Yeah, I promised I'd come in and do it. I went all the way back to the offices.
I had it right here.
I didn't even know you had it, so I thought, just in case you needed it.
How soon do we need, can it go on a future agenda?
I mean, it could, but I think that they're looking to have the trees planted because of all the disruption. So all Kristen wanted to do, which I believe is in their purview, they don't even need, I don't think they even need to advertise. All they need to know is that she's going to, should I just tell them
Through the chair.
through the chair?
Ask the chair, it's not up to
Yeah,
me.
so would it be acceptable?
Modification to the
It's not even really a minor modification. It's very, I don't even know what you call this. So you know how on the street, on the subdivision plans, we are required to put a street tree in every 30?
Yeah.
Normally, we'll put on the plan a little asterisk and a note saying, subject to approval and review by the Concom and by the DPW, because sometimes you can't put the tree there. All Kristen Kent is asking, and Paul Goodwin is asking, is if you would allow them the discretion to put the trees. There'll still be one tree for every 30 feet. It's just you might have 3, then you might have a blank, then you might have 1, then 4. So when Kristen asked me to do it, and then I went all the way back, I thought, oh Lord. So she just wanted to see, and it was my opinion, that it doesn't require much other than an administrative vote by you saying, you know what, when we see the as-built plans, we're going to approve that as just not a substantive change because there'll still be one tree for every 30 linear feet of the subdivision roadway.
Yeah, so for those that went on the site walk, we remember how many like different little bridges and wetlands and things like that needed to be constructed on that roadway to keep it, you know, environmentally friendly. So it's physically impossible to plant literally every 30 feet. So Kristen's, to read it into the record, this is from Kristen Kent, our conservation agent. Regarding Northeast Estates subdivision, dear Chairman DeGregorio, Paul Goodwin, Superintendent of Public Works, and I have been coordinating with the developer of Northeast Estates, Couture Way, to facilitate installation of street trees in compliance with the permit. In doing so, it has come to our attention this project is not conducive to the installation of street trees as outlined in Attachment 1, Construction Standards, Section 9, the Planning Board's subdivision rules and regulations, where it says all street trees must be planted 10 feet from the back edge of the sidewalk, and they shall be planted not more than 30 feet apart along the way. No tree shall be planted at any corner or intersection where it would become a hazard by obstructing vision or preventing safe vehicular travel. Specifically, the Northeast Estates subdivision includes impediments to installation of the required number of trees, including the presence of wetlands, bridges, and existing properties that now have frontage on Couture Way. On behalf of the town, we respectfully request the board allow a minor modification to the Northeast Estates approval, allowing installation of street trees at the discretion of the Superintendent of Public Works and Conservation Agent to ensure the long-term success of the trees on what is anticipated to become an accepted roadway. Obviously, we don't want trees going up that are going to overcrowd each other, could have to trimmed and potentially lose the trees. So
Honestly, I think it's usually somewhere in the plans a decision that this can happen in field.
yeah, I agree, and maybe that's something that we need to look at when we actually update our subdivision rules and regs to be a little bit more clear on that and, you know, give the authority, you know, directly to the DPW superintendent. So if anyone has any questions on it, happy to listen. Overall, it seems pretty straightforward where, you know, I think we would certainly consider this to be minor in nature.
Yep.
And pass that authority on to Paul.
Correct.
Everyone good with that?
Yeah, makes sense.
All in favor? Aye.
Bye again. That was a fast summer, right?
Easy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's it, Joe.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, no, this really isn't. If I find another piece of paper on my desk, I'll be back.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How we doing? Lisa and Nick, I'm gonna cross out because he's no longer an alternate. Just
And
strike-
then we'll just shoot Lisa an email. She can come by the clerk's office to sign.
Okay. Strike out. And then for A&R plans.
Thank you. And there was this to release the surety bond.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to discuss that as a group or.
Let's see, August 21st, Nick Federico, Treasurer, Town of Middleton, regarding the release of the reduction of surety bond for South Main Street Estates. Dear Mr. Federico, at the July 10th, 2024 meeting of the Middleton Planning Board, members voted unanimously to release all surety for South Main Street Estates. The total remaining funds in the surety bond is $56,145. Please see the attached breakdown of the balance of the surety bond. Please issue a check in the amount of $56,145 to Middleton Living LLC, P.O. Box 780, Linfield, Mass. 01940.
And where you already voted on it, I believe you just have to sign it.
Perfect. Steal your pen.
I got a blue one right here.
I got one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone from any of the committees have any reports they wish to speak on? Hearing none. I don't know of any other items that we didn't anticipate in advance of the meeting. We obviously are still on the search for a new town planner. Still, in the process of gathering applications. As soon as we are ready to move forward with interviews, I'm sure we'll probably do the same thing that we had done previously, where we'll elect a member of this board to be part of that interview committee during the selection process. So we'll open that up to whoever wishes to do it. Anything else for us that
That's
you
it.
can think of?
Everything for now.
Thanks for your support. I appreciate the extra work that you're doing, Jackie's doing, Scott, everyone, to help support our board, the ZBA. So thank you, I appreciate it.
It's a group effort, and also in full recognition that it's a lot of extra work for everybody on the board as well, and the ZBA as well. So thank you to everybody else that's helping do it by committee for now.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll work through it. All right. Since we don't have anything else, let's adjourn.